has to be very small. Earlier in the Government of India survey, it was 30 days. But now we have reduced it in 7 days, 1 week. Because a person can recollect what he has purchased from the vegetable mandi in the last week, but he can't recollect in the last 30 days. Until except people, except some people who write down each and every day's purchases in a copy.
What is the point of collecting this kind of data from consumer only? We can collect from the vendors also that how much they have supplied to the customer.
We essentially do that also, right? When we collect prices, actually, when you go for national income estimates, there are 3 different approaches. There is an income method, there is an expenditure method, and there is a value-added method. Oh, sorry, product method. Expenditure method, income method, and value-added method. So actually, in income method, what we do, we calculate the incomes generated from different income earning units. And in most of the cases, barring the registered sector, the organized sector, in the national income accounting, we collect data through expenditure. So expenditure you can get from the households only, right? So we are in 75th round, we are doing a survey. The survey period is 1 year. The reference period is 1 year. And when the survey period is long, then it is advisable to divide the survey period in different phases. Like we have done in 75th round, in different sub-rounds we have divided the survey period. The first sub-round is from July to September. Second one is from October to December. Third from January to March. And the fourth sub-round, the last sub-round is from April to June. It actually helps you to get the seasonal fluctuations thing when you are preparing a trend in statistics. You can capture the seasonal fluctuations in the data. Next important issue is your design of the questionnaire, how you prepare the questionnaire, right? So, you have to, just I was talking about, that you need to interview certain people. You need to interview certain households. You need to interview certain business owners, maybe shopkeepers, vegetable shopkeepers, right? So, first, you need to have a frame from which you can select that households. From that frame, you can select the shopkeepers, business owners. So, one questionnaire should be there for people in the sample frame. One questionnaire should be there for the preparation of sample frame, and the next questionnaire should be your detailed questionnaire, which will be useful for your own subject, your survey. So, for example, if we study the impact of demonetization on the peasants, on the agricultural cultivators and laborers, then do we have a ready frame? We do not have a ready frame. So we have to have a frame first. After the sample frame is prepared, then we can, by adopting a specific sampling design, we can go for selection of households, right? But in certain cases, there might be ready frames in certain kinds of surveys. Suppose one example is there in the slide itself. If you want to study, say, the infrastructural facilities of government-aided colleges in West Bengal, so you need to have a list of West Bengal government-aided colleges that is already with DPI, Director of Public Instructions, Government of West Bengal. They have a list district-wise, block-wise even. So you can use that frame for selection of colleges, for undertaking the further research, preparing the further questionnaire, or for selecting the colleges. Here we have a ready frame. So we don't need to prepare a questionnaire for preparing the frame. Right? But next.
So is there any specific model of sample frame? Is how to prepare?
No, there is no specific design. It will depend on your subject, the objective on which you are working. Like you are doing your thing on impact of demonetization on the cultivators and agricultural laborers of West Bengal. That is your object, that is your subject. So we don't have any ready frame, just you are talking. So for selection of pigeons for survey, a questionnaire for preparing the sample frame has to be designed at the very outset. After the sample frame is designed, we can have number of questionnaires. We can think of
in the sample frame will be the basic questions, and then we
definitely so.
And in the next one we can
go
in detail.
Exactly so. So sampling frame, the questionnaire for designing the sample frame will be a very short questionnaire where you just want to stratify the population in different groups so that all the different groups are represented in the population, in the sample. Essentially what we are doing, when we are undertaking a sample survey on impact of demonetization on agricultural laborers and cultivators, we are not going to each and every cultivator, we are not going to each and every agricultural laborer, we are selecting a sample. So the sample should be such that it represents the population properly. So if we, on an ad hoc basis, purposely select certain areas, that might not reflect. We can classify the cultivators in different indebted cultivators, non-indebted cultivators. That is loany farmers, non-loany farmers. We can think of make a differentiation, right? We can think of differentiating between small farmers, marginal farmers, big farmers, large farmers. We can think of differentiating. So impact of demonetization on a large farm will not be same as that on a small landholder or a marginal farmer. So we have to think of a sampling frame where all the different groups will be represented, isn't it? So that is why sampling frame is required.
It's from universal to particular.
Universal to particular. So that way, so designing a questionnaire will follow sampling design. Sampling design will first be decided, then we will decide that next. Next slide. So some basics of sampling design I would like to explain to you. We have already touched upon these things, that a sampling design is extremely needed for undertaking a good research. If the sampling design is defective, then the entire exercise will be defective. The data, the quality of data that will flow in, that will be bad. So we'll have the data quality. We just told you about 3 different characteristics of good data. Accuracy criteria will not be satisfied if we don't follow a particular very proper sampling design, right? So, barring a very few exceptional cases where the population is homogeneous, we need to go for a stratified random sampling, stratification of the population. Stratified random sampling exercise is needed. For example, if we say we have given in the slide, if we want to go for an impact study of this training workshop, of this workshop, so I think we don't need a stratified random sampling design because the group is almost homogeneous. Because everybody of you is at least postgraduate, everybody of you is planning a research or undertaking a research. So the group is more or less homogeneous. So we don't need to have a stratified random sampling exercise. But when there is heterogeneity, we need to have a stratified random sampling design. Next. Now you just take the subject you are covering, like demonetization and agricultural laborers, or GST and your small business owners. So you have to decide about from which point you will start, right? Suppose you want to undertake the survey in the whole of the state, or you want to conduct the survey in one district, suppose. So the district or the state will be the starting point for you, right? So unless there is a specificity of the subject, like if you were thinking of going for a study of demonetization on cultivators, so it will part into agricultural sector. Agricultural sector means you will have to concentrate on rural areas. So here you can conduct the entire survey in rural areas only, because in urban in defined urban areas there is agriculture, but the contribution of it is very bigger. So you can ignore that part. But barring these cases, if the thing is of a general nature, then first thing you will have to do, you will have to divide the geographical area into two different broad stratums. So from here, the sampling, the rules of stratification, rules of recurrent sampling design starts, right? So rules of stratification. So first thing you have the geographical area, you will have to define rural and urban, right? So just I have told you rural and urban. What is rural? What is urban? You have to define that. In rural area, where you will approach, which area to be covered, all these things, questions come, isn't it? So in rural areas, so you have to have a very previous slide. You have to have a very distinct identifiable unit. So rural area means it's not a concept. We can visualize that. What is a rural area? So there should be a distinct identifiable unit in the rural area as well as in the urban area. So next slide. So in rural areas, the most accepted, generally accepted, distinctly identifiable unit is your census village. So census villages. So when you're preparing a sample frame, you can get the list of census villages as your starting point for selection of villages. First, you have to select the villages only in the rural areas. Then you will go to that village for preparing the sample frame, isn't it? If any of you is having any issue, any problem with understanding, please feel free to tell me, so that I can, before skipping to the next slide, I can explain.
Sir, in rural stratum and urban stratum, okay. So rural stratum, you are saying that villages.
But not only villages.
Now think about this Bengal district.
I have not yet completed. I have not yet completed. Rural area means in rural area, I have told you, you have to visualize the distinct identifiable unit in the rural area. So in the rural area, where will you go? Will you go to a village? Or will you go to a further sub-village unit?
Yes.
Right?
It's distinct village. That is a different.
There is an administrative demarcation of a village. So what we get, the list of census village we are talking of, the list of census, each and every census village has a clear demarcation. In the north, in the south, in the east, in the west, these things are there. There is a map. So you can reach out to people residing in a particular identifiable unit. So that has to be there. Because your district, Birbhum district, is comprising of say 7,000 villages. Just for example, okay. So out of that 7,000 villages, you will have to select certain villages depending on your resource. Say you have 3 months time, or 6 months time, or 1 year time within which you have to complete your survey. You have 2 assistants with you to complete the survey. So there are 3 people to complete that survey within 3 months. You have, say, you have been given a 1 lakh rupees budget for conducting the survey. So these aspects, this budget constraint is there, isn't it? So you have to decide the sample size accordingly. How many people are there with you? How much time is there? And how much money is with you to spend? So depending on that resource constraint, you will have to decide on the sample size. So you will have to go for selection of sample villages. If you think that we can't cover the entire sample village, you can go for further stratification. We will explain to you how. So to start with, within a rural area, census village is the generally accepted, that there is a universally accepted identifiable unit. So list of census villages can be used as a sample frame for selection of villages, right? However, in urban areas, the matter is not that simple. In urban areas, we have different distinct identifiable units. We have got statutory towns, we have got census towns, we have got urban agglomeration units, and we have got outgrowths. Next. What is statutory town? You know, municipal towns, notified areas, municipal corporations. So which are governed by certain municipal law and order. So these are statutory towns, and that's definitely satisfies certain population criteria as dictated by the census. So these are statutory towns. There are census town. What is a census town? You know, did you hear the term census town before? Any of you? No. But census town is a very important identifiable unit in the urban area. It satisfies certain criteria. If you go through the census data published by the Directorate of Census Operations, you will come across the census town. That is actually an urban area. It is managed by the rural administration. It is in the geographical contiguity of a rural area, but it is actually an urban area. It satisfies the criteria of minimum 5,000 population. At least 75% of the main working population engaged in non-agricultural activities. So the total, out of the total population of that area, 75% of the main working population has to be non-agriculture, right? So actually it has certain urban features. People are not in agriculture. In agriculture means we know that it is in rural area, in private sector, isn't it?
So while selecting our sample frame, how do we fit these type of definitions in selecting our sample?
I will explain to you in the next slides. We will just simply understand what to do. So census town, right?
Is there any example? Census town?
Census town, yes,
Shurul.
Shurul, just in the vicinity of Shantiniketan, is a census town.
And census village?
Census village is any village you come across, Kurumba village, your Sian village, census village, all the villages, and which has a specific jurisdiction list. A census village you have, a census village has a clear JL number. This is called jurisdiction list number. Right? Every census village has a jurisdiction list number. And it is a clearly identifiable map. I will talk about the maps later. So this is a census village. And census towns, actually census towns are defined by census. Directorate of Census Operations.
Bolpur is not census town?
Bolpur is a municipal town, statutory town. Bolpur is a statutory town. Because it is a municipal town. Purandarpur is, I think, not statutory town. There is no notified area or municipality there. It is a village. Purandarpur area, I think there is a census town in the vicinity of Purandarpur. I have to check the list. So I have the list with me, where you can see the list of census towns in the state of West Bengal. Not even in Bihar.
There are some criteria. The population of
right, population criteria, percentage of population engaged in non-agricultural activities. Census town, right. Census town, what we are talking about, it is actually it is the administrative purview of a rural area, but it is actually a census town. Gram Panchayat. It is coming under Gram Panchayat. It is administered by the BDO of that particular block, census community development block and all. But it is census town, and as it is declared as a census town, it gets certain advantages. While preparing a policy, designing a policy, government can think of these census towns separately because it has certain urban features. Next.
Sir, what are the works come under main work?
Main working population.
Main working population means the persons who are engaged for 6 hours and above within a day. They are called main worker. And rest of the people are called marginal worker, the people who are working less than 6 hours in a day. So main working population, out of 365 days, there is a concept of principal activity status, weekly activity status, and monthly activity status. If you see a person can be engaged 6 hours a day for most of the days within a year for the principal activity status. Maybe suppose you can think of an agricultural labor. A person is providing agricultural services in other fields as a manual worker all throughout the year in 365 days for more than 6 hours. So principal activity status of that individual will be agricultural laborer.
Is there any classification for this?
Definitely. Actually, here we have written main working population. So the population who are main working population. Main working population is comprising of the people who are serving 6 hours and above as per the usual principal activity status. Actually, there also reference period is important. If you go to a household and ask a person that what you were doing for the last 1 year, he will say, in the last week I have done agricultural laborer's job. In the previous week I have done something else. In the last month I have done agricultural activities.
So why are we confused?
So there may be differences in your statuses also.
It varies.
It may vary. It may vary from one household to another. In one household you may gain. In most of the cases, rather in rural areas you get, people are serving in agricultural fields. They don't have any other job to take care of. Yes.
Sir, does the term panchayat area or municipality area, should we not consider these two components to distinguish rural area and urban area? We should consider this as a component to distinguish both these areas.
Rural area.
Generally, what we think that it's a panchayat area, it's a rural area. It's a municipality area, it's a urban area.
Right, that I am talking. Actually, rural area is comprising of census villages. And census villages are managed by a panchayat. Panchayats are managed by a community development block. If you go to the hierarchy, you will see census villages are managed by panchayat, gram panchayats. Gram panchayats are managed by community development blocks. There is a panchayat samiti kind of a thing there. And these community development blocks are managed by district administration, and there is a Jila Parishad kind of a thing. So in the panchayat system, you get Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, and Jila Parishad in the rural part, and management and administration of these areas are being done. Census villages are managed by Gram Panchayat administration, that by Panchayat Samiti and community development blocks, and that by district administration and Jila Parishad. Right. So definitely that is the rural area. And in the
question. You told that census villages has judicial number.
Jurisdiction list number. Jurisdiction list
number. So, is census towns, they also have?
They don't have any jurisdiction list number. Actually, they may be census town, may be one area which is comprising of 2 or 3 villages. Erstwhile they were villages. In 2011, census rule has been defined, has been categorized as in census town. As per 2001 census, it was a village, census village. So when the characteristics changes over time, the category of urban features when come in, we get different.
Point A, why are we only considering male working population? What sort of men?
That is actually decided by the think tank. That is. You are very good to ask this question.
Actually, you should ask this question.
Why male? Actually, because
right, we think manpower, more than 50% manpower belong to female category.
You are true, but actually this has been done by a very high technical group comprising of economists, statisticians, and bureaucrats and all. You may disagree with the criteria, but that has been done actually simply. maybe it could have been done if one more criteria could be added. This male working population 75%, female main working population 50%. We could add, but that there is a design that has been dictated by the Directorate of Census Operations and the think tank.
If only we remove the male word and only we use working population, obviously it will come.
That will do.
Male and
But what you're talking in agriculture, but in case of secondary sector, it is not the fact. In the tertiary sector, in the services sector, this is not the picture. In the services sector, majority of male population are engaged in activities. In agriculture, particularly in manual jobs, in some cases, in certain areas, particularly in tribal areas, female work participation is more. Right? So that is a thing. By analyzing the data set, actually they have decided what criteria to be adopted. So next.
And depends on society also.
If we look at the northeast, so most of the female
Here the female population participation is better.
Depends on society. Like our and South area.
Right. That is a tribal areas. Tribal areas, hill areas.
Yes.
Their female participation might be more than.
Yes.
So there were 3 criteria for defining a census town. There was a population density criteria, participation in non-agricultural activities, and then population. Next, we are getting urban agglomeration unit. We have got a in 2000 census criteria. We have got 20,000 population, an area. It may be an area comprising of two statutory towns, or 1 statutory towns and 2 outdoors. 1 municipal towns, 1 notified area. There can be so many things. There can be so many alternatives. So an urban agglomeration must consist of at least a statutory town. That is the criteria. That has to have at least 1 statutory town, and it is required to have 1 statutory town, and the population should not be less than 20,000. Oh, there is a tea break. Actually, can we have tea here only so that we can we don't lose time?
We can save the time. We can bring the tea here and.
So,
it's up to you, sir. If you can continue with this and also having tea, then of course we can also.
Definitely so, but I don't know their design actually. They have a design. So let us have a tea break for 5 minutes.
We need 5 minutes to
Okay,
come.
I would agree for 5
Done.
Please do come back within 5 minutes because we have a lot of things to discuss and we have to complete by 1:30. Okay.
এই তুমি ইয়েতে বিদ্যাসাগরে ছিলে না কিছুদিন? বিদ্যাসাগরে ছিলে না কিছুদিন? কি আমরা একটা বললাম?
We have given a tea break for 5 minutes.
University